Hey guys, welcome back. This is Codename Bananas, Chapter 5, Granny Spittle. Eric! The voice yelled again. Now the boy blushed redder than a postbox. The crowd looked around to see who this person was with the incredibly loud voice. Good afternoon, Grandma, replied the boy weakly. Don't you good afternoon, Grandma, me, boy. You are an almighty child. I ordered you to come straight home after school. But did you? Oh, no, you had to come here to the zoo again, didn't you? There was no answer to that. Eric was busted. The old lady batted her way through the crowd with her air trumpet. Bish! Ow! Bash! Oof! Bosh! Ah! Look at you, child, she exclaimed, spotting her grandson was covered in gorilla spittle. Your face is filthy. And then the old lady did something Eric and all the other children of the world loathe. She spat on her handkerchief and began furiously rubbing at his face. Now Eric was covered in Granny Spittle instead of gorilla spittle. The boy wasn't sure which one was worse. And if that wasn't punishment enough, Grandma yanked him by one of his sticky-out ears. Come with me, she demanded. I bet it was all your Uncle Sid's idea. The man's always filling your head with silly ideas. Uncle Sid had nothing to do with it, lied Eric. What did you say? Demanded the old lady, cutting her air trumpet to her ear. Uncle Sid had nothing to do with it. Grandma stared at the boy. Bread and dripping, she barked. I bet there's a bombing raid tonight, and as soon as it's dark, which, she said, looking up at the sky, it's any moment now. With her free hand, Grandma hacked through the crowd with her air trumpet as if it was a machine slashing through the jungle. Bish! Out! Bash! Off! Bosh! Not again! Such was the commotion that more and more people began to gather. Visitors, zookeepers, and stiff-looking men who were immaculately dressed in the morning suit, complete with a top hat. He tried to weave his way through the crowd. Please, someone come, please. His voice was so achingly parched his R's came at his W's. Calm down, madam, please. What did you say? What did you say? She shouted. I said calm down. All right, no need to shout. Are you a little hard of hearing, madam? She asked the man, spotting his air trumpet. 5:15, replied Grandma, checking her watch. Who are you anyway? She said, putting her trumpet to her ear. The man was taken aback. He spoke directly into the end of the trumpet. I'm Sir Frederick Frown. Frederick? The old lady scoffed. What kind of name is that? Frederick is a perfectly normal name for a gentleman. I think it's Frederick. Eric still wincing from the pain of having his ear pulled. He runs the zoo. You are a white boy. Frederick. And I am the zoo's Director General. The what? She demanded. Director General. Director General? What is a Director General? He's the Director General, Grandma, said Eric. How many times do you need to be told, Frown? Director General. There's no need to shout, dare, she shouted. I must politely ask you to leave the premises. The premises, she asked. Yes, the premises, with haste. Don't worry, we're going. The lady marched off on each of her steps. Gertrude blew a raspberry. It was making it seem like the old lady was blowing up. The crowd roared with laughter. gracious!" exclaimed Sir Frederick. "Who taught my gorilla to do that? Was it you, big-eared boy?" He barked nose to nose with Eric. "Yes, sir," he confessed. "I was just trying to cheer up my friend after all the bombing last night. And she was rocking backwards and forwards, and I was worried about her." "So you taught her how to blow a raspberry?" Yes, sir," replied the boy sorrowfully. "This is a zoo, not a circus," thundered Brown. "I couldn't agree more," snapped Grandma. "You need to have a talk with the boy's great uncle. He worked here at the zoo, Sidney Pratt." "Pratt?" "No, Pratt." Grandma had dropped the zookeeper in a massive pile of elephant poo, which by a staggering coincidence was exactly where Sid already was. However, Eric could hear the familiar clinking and clanking of the old man's tin legs in the distance. Clink, clank, clonk. On spotting Sid, the boy shook his head as if to say, "Run," sadly. It was not the old man's strong point. "Do you know this boy, Pratt?" Eric shook his head. "No," lied the man. "He's your great-nephew, Sidney," exclaimed Grandma. "I knew you were daft, but I didn't know you were this daft." "Oh, yes, I do, then," said Sid. "Yes or no?" pressed Brown. "A bit of both. No, I didn't know him before he was born, but now I do, yes. I'll tell my grandson times and times it's a warn. It's not safe. He needs to come straight home from school," began Grandma. "But oh no, Sidney Pratt has other ideas. Wants the boy to be a zookeeper just like him, shoveling doodahs all day. I bet he even sneaks the boy in here for free." Brown frowned. "Free? Free? Is this true?" Sid looked at Eric. The boy shook his head again, but the old man knew that the game was up. "Yes, it's true. True. My little Eric loves animals, you see, and they love him. Sidney Pratt. Wait for me in my office. You two can leave the zoo right now." "You what?" barked Grandma, pushing her trumpet closer to her. "Leave! There's no need to shout. And don't worry, we're going. I wouldn't come back to the stinky old place if you paid me," huffed Grandma, yanking Eric's sticky out hair. She made it stick out even further. "Ow!" exclaimed Eric as she was hauled away. He stole a look back at Sid and then at Gertrude. The gorilla was sitting in her cage, having watched the entire scene. Although she couldn't speak human, Gertrude had clearly understood what had happened. The boy was sad now, so she was sad too. The gorilla put her hand up to the cage. It was clear that she didn't want her friend to go. She cried after him, offering a little wave goodbye. Eric waved back just before he was hauled off out of sight by his ear. Ow! Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for more chapters of Codename Bananas.